Hey, I'm looking at these COVID numbers. With 10% of the population vaccinated, we see like a drop in a third. I'm not gonna say that's proportional, but what I'm gonna say at 100,000, at 100 million, at when 1/3 of this country is vaccinated, for all intents and purposes, we're not gonna really be in a pandemic situation. We're gonna be technically in it. We're gonna be officially in it. Um, and it could turn and we be in one, but for all intents and purposes, that's the corner right there. You know what I'm talking about? Granted, we have to say at 70, 80%, or was it 60 to 80%? But honestly, I think it's like a third. And from what I'm looking at, talking about this shit is dropping quick. And I think we can get there like in 90 days. We already got um, a lot of people vaccinated, shit. Probably even sooner. Shit, in 90 days, I think it'll be way over 100 million people vaccinated. So, I mean, literally, all you can do is hold out for 90 days and you're good, you know what I'm talking about? We can do it one more time. Because you always got to take in consideration people who are already been infected are the most people that will get infected easily to begin with. So, you also have that. So, you got to add 50 million on top of what's already vaccinated, whatever that number is. So, but just something to keep in your back of your mind, just you don't want to be like in World War I on the 11th hour or the 11th day. Matter of fact, you want to be in the 11th month, the 11th day, 10 hours and 55 minutes, and some dumb motherfucker says you gotta go over the top. I'm like, motherfucker, kiss my ass. Chilling from next 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing, don't do anything though. You know what I mean? Throw that guy over. I'm like, you want some glory? Hold your fucking head up. The point being is just be smart, you know what I'm saying? It'd be like after 90 days, it's more like a mop-up situation, so to speak. You know.
Bombs ready, baby.
It's difficult to listen to all these conspiracy theories. It really is. Like, and that's really hampers the truth, you know?
Hell yeah, that's right. Engaging. Cover me. Reloading. Come on. Now we're talking. It's time, baby.
Scion Heart!
I'm not reloading.
Hell yes!
Get over here. Sion's good and dead.
Are you fucking shitting me?
Reloading! Got some supplies!
Oh, there's a weapon. Got him.
Really needed this!
I was looking for this. I believe that shit. Oh yeah. Could use some help. How you want it?
Scion!
Are you kidding me? Finally. There we go.
Found a weapon! Reloading! Cover me! Scion!
Why the fuck did he do that?
Got to be in one of these. Let's check them. Enemies on me! Bring it down!
Needed this.
That's our stuff, baby! Gotta reload! Woo, yeah, baby! It's the venom! Oh, that's beautiful!
Spy on mark.
Cover me! I'm ready!
Whoa, Venom's here. Not like this.
The venom's here!
That's it. Shit! Don't breathe it in.
That's it for now. Yeah, it's ass kicking time, baby. I'm feeling it now. It's the venom! Run! Come on, bring it! Don't bring it in! I think we're good. This'll do. I see the action! Going now!
Spy on mark. I'm reloading.
Oh yeah! I got enough for all of y'all! I'm locked and loaded! Move your ass! Get over here! Oh, Zion's scared now! I can use a hand here. I was getting up. I'm reloading! I'm going out like this. Oh, you want Just a little time out.
Extraction point reached.
Yep. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Thanks. Thanks for the title change. Okay, cool, cool. I wanted that skin too. Yeah, it's like a pure tank, you know. It literally is a tank. God. I got all those cards. Hoping for a gold. I got 6 out of 6. I mean, you could run it basically yourself. I mean, I got all of it. I know. I'm telling you, man. I don't mind people copying it because I come new shit faster than people can copy it. You know, I'm talking about that. And people realize, wait, that's coming from him. A small guy in the middle of the chaos. Well, that's smaller guy, not tinier. I really don't like this map, man. I just want to beat it. I'm just gonna go like fucking. Yeah, I'm just gonna beat it outright. Fuck it. Infiltrator. Because then you could get like I guess pilot and 2 gunners, right? And you could take off like the heavy weapons ammo, and you could just run the buddy one. And so you got a bait armor. So you got, we'll have heavy deflect, bait armor, freeze resist, and your tank's energy. And so if you have pilot, right, or a gunner, then you have that to feed into it, right? And you'll just take off this heavy capacity because one will go flash freeze and the other will go Molter Mastery, so you can just switch off weapons. And the thing is, like, when you have like, it's good if you're just one of these. You have double the ammo, but when you pick up the ammo, sometimes you only pick up 70% of the ammo. It's usually around 60 to 80% of the ammo. Sometimes as low as 30, right? And so if you pick up 2 of the weapons, sometimes that's just barely over 100% anyways. So it comes in handy, but you don't really need it. You know what I'm talking about? So you could sacrifice this card if you have 2 gunners, because then one would just pick up the freeze cannon and the other pick up the mulcher. And then with the pilot, that pilot's freezing everything, and plus she could use the drop shot and also have the buddy card, and she has the freeze resist. Am I right? Does she have a freeze resist? Well, she has the stim, so I guess that's sort of like the same thing. So every time she does damage, as soon as it gets between 1/3, what is it? Less than 25%, and then if you have level 6, it's basically a third. Boom! It does a freezing damage for 70% of damage. So you just nail it down to get 2/3 of it off. Boom, done quick. You know, pilot just takes it done. And with the drop shot, shooting it behind it, boom, boom, and it's more of a tank one because the you could do it with the tactician, but I just like it to be more tanky because you could fuck up more. Tactician, you gotta be more precise, you know. And if you're on computer, you're good, but with the controller, and you got lag from Hawaii, you could be more relaxed and laid back and all this other shit. You know, you don't have to be all hardcore and shit. No one wants to do this shit. This is how hard the fucking thing is. $40,000 gold. Why is 40,000 gold? Shit. I'll take a look at it. That's definitely a girl skin. Yeah, that's like a girl wants to be like, yeah, I'm getting that queen skin, that heroic queen, and they're just gonna keep playing until they get it. You know what I'm saying? For the ladies, as they're so they stay on. Yeah, they need population of this game to increase, so put that out there. It's free, sort of, you know. Can't believe I missed out on her good skin. I'm so mad. Which is better, her or her? I think she's hotter. Could choose her.
Venom delivered. Right. Let's not disappoint home. Get together. We'll be out of here in no time. I'm reading enemies here! Keep 'em coming! Drone spotted. Time's almost up!
That bomb's gonna go. Killing Hunter Mark.
Ruby, spotted!
Reloading.
Bomb's about to blow!
That's the bomb.
Will they do that?
It's hard, you know what I'm saying, to find like a girl that's not too muscular and not in shape. I mean, like you can't be too in shape, but you can't be too out of shape. You have to be like just a minimum. And it's all aesthetics, you know, cultural based or whatever.
Cover me! Reloading! Hostiles on me!
But in gear, it's like that perfect line, you know.
We got a Juby.
Give me a hand! Bomb's about to blow!
Venom deployed.
On your feet!
I'm not into that. I can't. I have to effeminate more. Yeah, I respect them, you know, but I'm more into feminine body types, you know. I don't know. Like she's looking up like this. Yeah, I mean, so that's what you should focus on. I mean, that's the one good thing if you're not gifted with, you know, if you're like super skinny, you know, you could work out and get that butt. And the thing is, like, it's easier for a woman to get a good body. It's hard for men because they could be more laxed on their diet. And they'll have more, it's like when a guy bulks up, to get more calories, whatever. So when they work out, they have the caloric intake and the protein already readily available to turn into muscle, whatever, right? I mean, but that's good. But the fact of the matter is, everybody plays that role, and no one can do the actual hard part and cut down or whatever. So they're in the constant state of bulking, and you could identify those pieces of shit. Basically, you just listen and be like, all right, whatever. But for women, it's easier because they can have a more lax diet, and they could bulk up for the booty or whatever, right? And if depending on how they feel about fat transfer, now it's socially acceptable, they could take out where 50% of most women, or whatever the number is, where most women's fat settle in their stomach, and they could transfer that fat to their chest, whatever, right? And they'll increase bust size. So when they eat a little bit more, instead of their gut sticking out, talking from their chest, it does the reverse. So you have more of that proportionality, right? Because that's what people look at, other than your specific weight. They look at that ratio at chest to stomach to butt or whatever. And it's not quantified, but I bet you could if you wanted to. But that means you could work out and firm everything up, because you only need like a little bit of muscle to make everything be there or whatever, what I'm talking about? But if you have a little bit more muscle, it looks more pleasing, because your body and your mind knows that you put more work into it, and so that's more attractive to you. So it's not just having a big butt and it's fat or whatever, It's that it's there and you worked hard and you have control over it. And that's what's attractive. You know what I'm talking about? Not that I overly deconstructed it, but I did put a little bit of thought on it over the years or whatever, And so that's what I thought. It'd be easier for a woman to get that if they're not naturally gifted with those dimensions. But you could get those dimensions. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if you have like fat here in your stomach, like in the shoulders, whatever, you can just all transfer it to your chest, and you get that proportionality. You get that like slim back or whatever, that ratio. So you have that hourglass, whatever. But you can't. I wouldn't really do that to your butt, because it's so identifiable. If you do anything down there, unless you have like lots of money, just work out. You know what I'm talking about? Especially like someone that goes to the gym, you could tell. Like someone that goes to the gym will know. You know what I'm talking about? Because there's certain contours or whatever, I guess, that I know of. But with your chest, it's easy. I mean, I don't see why everybody just doesn't have a fat transfer. I mean, literally, it makes so much sense, because once you take the fat away from your stomach, it never comes back. It's gone forever. And if you transfer it to your chest or whatever, it will grow and shrink as your diet fluctuates, as your income and caloric changes. You know what I'm talking about? With a guy, it's a lot different, because it's 10 times harder to get that, because you got to constantly work out. So with a woman, it's kind of, it's like it all balances out. Women pay more attention to aesthetics and they're more concerned about it, but it's easier for them to get the body type. For men, they don't really pay attention to all aesthetics or whatever, but we have to work out more. You know what I'm talking about? So it all balances out. You know what I'm saying? So they have to wear makeup, but they have better bodies. It's easier to get their bodies. We don't wear makeup. We can't wear makeup, but we have to work out more to look good. Yeah, it's all that proportionality or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So the easy part for women is wearing makeup. For guy, if you don't look good, you don't look good. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, if you're born with blemishes or whatever, you're kind of fucked. You know what I'm saying? So unless you have it removed or whatever, and you could do that now, it would just cost a few $1,000s. But we could look more rugged, because we're more of a personality based and gender or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? We could be more aggressive, and that gives us more attractive. And you naturally fall into those roles of commanding respect when you step into a room. A woman, they have to use more of their personnel on the other end of the spectrum or whatever to create bonds and to bring people together. You know what I'm talking about? So it's more of a nurturing thing. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not saying these are just roles that are historically there. I'm not saying it's like finite or whatever, and one can have the other, but by and large, that's what it is, and it's definitely you can't just be totally one or the other. You know, you gotta, as a guy, be nurturing and be a little bit like more assertive. And of course, you got to be assertive as a woman, but you want to be more nurturing, you know, because that's what you think, and more people identify with it. But you have to know when to switch on and off. But by and large, you'd probably be more nurturing, and a guy would be more assertive than nurturing. You know what I'm talking about? So it's just, I think I don't want to say one or the other because that's like sort of being misogynistic or whatever about it. But that's just that I didn't create this universe or this world we live in, but you've got to abide by certain rules or whatever. But that's reality. But to hold true to just true misogynistic rules is sort of hemming yourself in, anyways, you know, because you got to be way outside that, incorporate that and other aspects and additional aspects, and see how it all like works together and synthesize that all into what actually works in the real world. Because that would change every person, every situation. But that being said, it's easier to get a body if you're a woman than it is for a guy. So it balances out more or less. Off on a tangent. Off on a tangent. People don't want to do this map, man. This map is hard. I want that 1,200 gold, man. Or actually, nearly 2,000 gold. Oh, a butt lift. So yeah. You don't want to do that. I think you could rearrange the fat in your butt or whatever, but I wouldn't. Well, I guess it's butt lift, right? I don't think, yeah. I'll just do what muscle. People know what muscle looks like, you know? Is that what it is? We'll do that then. I mean, the thing out here, there's like Asians out here, and there's a lot of them. And so you could, for every like one out of 100 Asians have a nice butt, naturally. Or 1 out of 100 Asians have a chest, you know what I'm talking about? And very few have a chest and are skinny have a butt, you know what I'm talking about? And so that's like 1 out of 1,000. So it's kind of rare you see that out here, but I know a few. 1, 2, maybe half a dozen. Probably more, I mean, I guess. A lot of people don't know what to do with it. They just sort of have it, and it's not in the American culture is not really solidified out here. It's sort of like this amalgamation of a bunch of different things. So it's having a European, black, Latino body type is sort of like it's just odd, man. I don't know really how to explain it. And it's funny because you got some people that look Asian, say they're Puerto Rican, but don't have Puerto Rican culture or buy by any like the cultural concepts of beauty or whatever. And it's just it's hard to relate. Yeah, you could tell. It's almost like they were just told to say they're Puerto Rican and that's it. No, it's just like it's not a statement. You gotta. Oh, like this guy? Oh, okay. It's like me just saying I'm a Marine and just be like, oh, just believe me. And I don't go into all the other details and shit like that. And just expect people to be like, okay, you're in the Marine Corps. Oh, the honey dip. I follow her. You could tell. Yeah, she had, whatever body. She's Laotian or Vietnamese. Cambodian. She's Cambodian. That's right. I know a Laotian at the gym. Whatever. He's big. Like South Asians. I mean, Southeast Asians are usually have bigger chest than than Chinese, really. And Japanese. And Koreans are a little bit bigger. Filipino, they're super tiny. Little guys. But with American diets, they get big. Well, like a Japanese over here would be big because of the American diet. Well, all that processed food and shit. But basically, if you're third or more Filipino, you just say Hawaiian. And then, so, somewhere in the middle of the conversation, you're like, oh, okay, you're Filipino. You're like, oh, you put it together, you know. Because they'll have, like, all, like, Hawaiiana tattoos and shit like that. And, like, somewhere in the middle of the conversation, they realize I'm from Jersey, and they'll stop playing that Puerto Rican rule or whatever on me. And it's just weird. It's just odd, man. It's just like I try to be cool and laid back, but it's just because they try to beat you over the head with some shit and be racist and shit like that, being a minority. But man, you're just like totally laid back. I'm like, I don't want to even care about all that shit, but you care about it. But I'm about to call you on your bullshit. And then sit in prison for somebody that can't even fucking know their ass from elbow about Latinos to tell me what the fuck Puerto Rican is or not. What the core of our culture is trying to fight against, you know, equality and fucking injustices and shit. Alright, I got it.
Out of ammo! Oh yeah.
We're good to go.
Gotta reload! Locked and loaded.
I mean, actually,
Elite Hunter spotted!
Yeah, let's go!
The venom's catching up. Move it!
Cover me!
Hang about to do some damage. Fuck you.
Got it! Oh, it's no problem. Weapon here! Got him. All mine!
I'm down!
Reloading! Get up! Throw down! Shit, yeah! Ready to go! Up close and personal. Whoa! Good to go. That's enough out of you!
Ruby!
That's mine! Got him. Ammo! Ammo marked! Gotta reload! This'll work. It's a new gun, yes it is!
oh shit,
Hoorah!
invisible gun there.
Ammo marked! It's E-time!
Do this, open it. Oh, there's a lot of, oh, this, wine is like 60, 70% Asian.
I reload!
Like, there is no Hawaiians for all intents and purposes left. It's just all Asian.
Juicy marked!
There's part Asian, I mean, there's part Hawaiians, but
That's called a clean
there's very few. On the outer island, there are, like, big island. I mean, yeah, I mean, there's half, but, I mean, very few half.
Hell yeah!
It's like, in America, like, everybody's Native American, and just a little bit of Cherokee, you know? Like, 5%, 10%. Like, you got that, and they consider that half, so. Rest is just Asian.
Shit, yeah!
And it's Filipino Asian, usually. But usually, if you're Hawaiian, it's usually Chinese. But what fools you is that the people that look Hawaiian are usually just Filipino. But If you look a little bit closer, you can tell Hawaiian because they have a certain body structure, facial structure. Look, they look Samoan.
Ooh, thanks for that. Back in your hole. Bro! Keep it up, buddy. You are blessed. Could be useful. I'm under attack. Go! Gotta reload. It's locked.
I mean,
Come on.
like I lived in Tahiti, so you could sort of tell the body structure, the facial features or whatever. So
Close it up.
you can tell if someone has like a lot of tattoos and they're Filipino. So it's really difficult when you speak to them and they're like, okay, dude, just be honest. If you're honest, whatever, and I know you love yourself, you know, I'm talking about, it's easier to form a bond. But if you don't, it's just like, what else are you lying about, you know?
Those will work.
How's it going down there? Just picked you up on radar. I'm on my way.
Yeah, we'll meet you at the extraction point. Okay, let's look around for ammo while we can.
I mean, this takes away for the people who are like Irish, Chinese, Hawaiian. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, don't do that. There's so few left, you know what I'm saying? And that's what you could usually tell. Like, if you're cool with me, 80% of the time you're Hawaiian. And you could tell like the Filipino mixes, whatever, are really like bullshit. You know, and you could tell. They feel apprehensive or whatever. It's like, is this guy Mexican or whatever, because they have this animosity towards that, and they try to perpetrate like they're Puerto Rican, and it's just this weird thing, and I don't have time for it. But you could tell, you could when they approach you and how they look at you, you could see it in their little subtle movements. Like Micronesian, even they look like similar Micronesian to Samoan, to Hawaiian, to Filipino, and you could obviously tell like Korean and Japanese. And I'm glad that I look so unique that people just sort of guess, you know. So I used to take it, but like since you couldn't like guess whatever, I'd be like, man, you don't know cultures. But it was like a no-win situation for them because unless you personally knew who I was, you would never be able to. So I got to be an asshole to a lot of people.
Nice shot. Back on your feet. How about you take point? Shit, yeah. We got him. Good job, team.
Make a no-win situation for people, you know, being like a kid about it, and not be justified because they were racist or whatever. I mean, they are. So I mean, but. And then people will be like, well, that's not a Native American axe. Motherfucker, I tell you how to Native American axe. This is how we do it. End fucking racism, America, and I'll do what I need to do.
Step over here.
Deal with it.
It's fine.
Fucking have a white person tell me what another race does.
There's some grenades.
I had a few people tell me in that in Jersey, man. I was like, set them fucking straight, man. Fucking joke people, man. That's like me telling what a white or black person how they fucking should ask, and they're not black because of this or white because of that. Motherfucker, just shut your fucking mouth, man.
Got it. Bring it.
Fucking these people, man. I'm telling you. Like the audacity and the arrogance of it. You know what I'm talking about? When you claim to be so intellectually higher than someone that you have the fucking arrogance to tell what another race is. You know what I'm talking about? You can't. I was born this race. You can't change it. You know what I'm saying? You can't change a black person or a white person. I'll act how the fuck I want, how I need to, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the situation calls for.
Still got it.
And those people who can't adapt are just mad. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm reloading.
And they start crying and shit.
Here, talk out.
How about you take point?
It's done.
Looks like we're done.
Hoorah!
Hey, we should regroup.
That's like, you know, getting mad of an Asian because they speak English, or a black person who speak English, or whatever, you know? It's like, what the fuck are you telling anybody, like, how they should be or whatever? You know what I'm saying? This is the world that you gave to them, you know what I'm talking about? This is America to them. You took them over from a place they don't, where they were supposed to be, into another country. Of course they're going to learn English. You take a Native American, take away the language, and you put them in a fucking city and just sure what the fuck you think is going to happen. You adapt to the situation. Now you don't fucking cry about it later. Well, that's not how I thought there'd be. I thought it'd be all sweet and natural and be one with the fucking nature and shit.
Reloading. Weapon. Piggy's down.
This is what I call teamwork.
That's all I got.
Yeah, that's right.
I gotta get some motes.
Mission complete.
I didn't know that one girl was as famous as she was, you know? I guess a lot of people follow her. Or internet famous, at least. Oh shit. Oh, I already got all those, so. Alright. Got that nearly 2,000 gold. Alright. But the thing is, like, Asians from the mainland to here, they're completely different people. I mean, so when you think of Asians, I think of people from New York and that kind of thing, or that type of mentality, or, you know, like Chicago, that hard work ethic type of Asian that racism forced them to work hard. They had to be accepted into white society. So that family structure helped press that pressure of being accepted, force them to be doctors, lawyers, achieve high achievers so they could be readily accepted over generations, you know, because when they first arrived here, they were, you know, working on the railroads and shit like that. And they learned, oh, well, we got to work hard, but we're just as capable as any other white person. So we're good. So they became doctors and lawyers, you know, and all that other stuff. Out here, you don't have that work ethic, that mentality, but they parasite off that high achievement, like they have that, you know, they want that, oh, we're smarter type of perception. So when I go off, I refer to the people over here than the people of the mainland, you know, I'm talking about. So it's like when you go off on like white people. It's like I'm not referring to the 1 or 2% fire whatever few white people that are racist as fuck, or really we know it's a lot larger. But not, but the good people, like you know what I'm talking about. So it's just like the same damn thing. So I know it's fucked up, but that's when we're not really referring to over here. So it's a totally different culture out here. It's not Asians per se. It's just like this. It's not American Asians. It's this odd non-American thing. It's not really. It's not Japanese. It's not American Japanese. It's not Polynesian. It's like this Midwest, some Polynesian slapped on top of it, don't get me wrong. Some Asian, a lot of like the bad influences that just sort of metastasize. So there's a lot of corruption out here. And there's a lot of good people. But the thing is, there are a lot of, when you have, you know, it's like the city. And you have all this racism against Latinos and blacks. And the people that are able to rise up, they're really good people. So, like, if you go to Waianae, some of the outer towns, you see these really hardworking people that take care of, like, the whole family, you know what I'm talking about? And so, it's just this crazy thing. So, 80% of the population is affected by people, by 20% of the population just said fuck it and gave up, you know, because of poverty or whatever, and that probably drags down the rest of the 60%. But then you got that 20% that work hard, that had that work ethic or whatever, and so those are people I like to meet, you know, the people that've been to the main or whatever, and I had to skip over that, definitely that 20%, which I keep bitching about, and the other 60% that are so influenced by this negative fucking bullshit that just sort of is cancerous out here. And so they rely on that marketing, oh, this is paradise, and it isn't paradise. It is so much poverty out here that it's just a marketing scheme. And it's shameful. And so many people get caught up on it, you know. It's like, oh, Hawaii this, oh, Hawaiian people this, whatever. There's good people, but I got to tell you one thing. Those good Hawaiians are already taken. You know what I'm talking about? They're not dumb. You're like, I found another good local. We're married. We need both incomes. We're good. Don't fuck with us. You know what I'm talking about? Don't fuck with my family. We got to hold shit down. We got to hold shit down for and our extended family because they're fuck ups too. You know what I'm talking about? So that's what people don't realize. They come out here and people don't. There's a lot of poverty, right? So they don't really. It's not the quality of people they see, you know what I'm saying? So someone that would be middle class is really probably lower middle class or poverty level. Someone that's like upper middle class is down over here, and someone that was just making it, they're dead ass fucking broke, you know what I'm talking about? And so it's not what people expect. It's a culture shock. And because you got poverty on top of that, because what comes out here, there's not a lot of jobs. So there's less industry, less jobs, less income. And the population cannot support industry, so the amount of money is here is even less. So those few jobs are even less, so there's even more poverty. So there's this, negative feedback of poverty. And the people that come out here, some of them are super talented, you know, but they can only get below level jobs because they're overqualified, but there's only so jobs here, you know what I'm talking? It's just, and the jobs that they do get are usually given to family and friends, whatever, because of nepotism. So the quality is even further diminished because you got overqualified people in lower jobs and less qualified people in the higher jobs. So that could lead to more frustration. Those people leave. And so it's just this really perfect storm that just keeps fucking up Hawaii's economy. And this whole mindset is that when people come over here, there's a revolving door, so you don't treat them normally. Like, they'll leave in a year or two, so I won't form a bond, so I don't need to be cool with them. You know what I'm talking about? And that leads to this arrogancy, like, since I don't have to be cool with them, I'm better than them. And they juxtapose that with me not needing to deal with them as I'm better than them and I have more skill than them. And there is no skill. And so it further reinforces that negative behavior. So you got this downward spiraling because they're not in touch with the rest of society, you know what I'm talking about? But to them, this is a melting pot, so it further reinforces that negative behavior. So that's what I usually bitch about. Bank of Hawaii. I use the Bank of, there's two of them. Hawaii. Bank of Hawaii, Hawaiian. You could look it up. There's another one. First Hawaiian Bank, Bank of Hawaii, and the Bank of America, which is stationed in Hawaii. Not or is it American Savings Bank, or is it Bank of America? No. Is a Hawaii bank. So there's those three banks over here, but I use, the crypto exchange. Oh, okay. I actually am trying to use Coinbase. I just said I'm from Jersey, and if I need to have an address in Jersey, I'll just call up a friend, and I'll use his address anyways, you know, like if I need any kind of reference, like, I mean, you gotta understand Seaside, it's all like quasi mob and shit like that, so everybody has each other's back. Like, oh yeah, you know, Supreme or Jesus, whatever. I worked with them for 5 years, 10 years as a manager. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? So I always call them up. So if I needed a job, and I have like nothing or whatever, and like I put something on paper and I needed to be boasted up or whatever, and they try to call my bluff or whatever, they call. So that's what I do. And that's all it is. It's all bullshit anyways, saying manager. It's like whatever. I mean, you gotta out-corrupt the corrupted. I'm just saying. To them, that's the most corrupted shit. To them, that's the most hardest shit. And I was like, I'll tell you some shit. And I thought I got in that mentality. Like, I never wanted to get that growing up. Like, there's always someone more bloodier than me. And when I went in the Marine Corps, I saw that, where I realized there's only a handful. Then I realized what happened in Jersey. I realized what happened in the Jersey Shore. And I was just like, it humbled me a lot. Yeah, it is. Always be cool. Never burn your bridges. Don't be a bitch, but don't burn your bridges. So you gotta have that little fine line. You know what I'm talking about? So that's the art. You know what I'm talking about? Always, be assertive. Know how to approach people, make people laugh. Don't self-deprecate yourself, whatever. And I think the key is like always like after a while, learn how to tell a joke. Don't attack people. Attack things that are or not personal, like an entity. Like when if you got like with crime, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, like if you guys steal, don't steal from somebody. Don't steal from someone's house. Go to Macy's. You know what I'm talking about? Go to the store. They could absorb the loss. You're not pissing off anybody. You're not going to piss off your neighbor. They're not going to try to rat you out. But if you're Robin Hood, same thing. So if you tell a joke and you be cool, don't piss off people. Don't make fun of yourself because people believe that shit. You know what I'm saying? So try to choose something that doesn't hurt other people, but people can relate to. You know what I'm talking about? Be like, yeah, it's the system and it's a process, so let's hate that. You know what I'm talking about? Because you're not attacking anybody, you're not an evil person, but you're like, man, this shit's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that power grid, you know what I'm talking about? It's like, you make fun of that power grid, something, 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 but instead of like some other shit. I mean, that's a bad example because I don't like Ted Cruz. I really do not like Ted Cruz, you know what I'm saying? But something like that, I got caught there. I got caught with my own fucking example right there, but shit like that, it's always good to know people, yeah. And always self-adjust because I'm not perfect. Always self-adjust, always grow. I think that's what I got to take away from it, And don't come complacent and don't be arrogant. And because we all do that because we have this self-defensive mechanism in ourselves that helps that we're perfect. We don't need to change. We don't want to change. But we always need to be adaptable. And our brains tell us, that we're good, so it's everybody else's fault and not ours, whatever. But then you don't want to be self-destroying and be like, everything's my fault, and be like, that other person doesn't need to change, whatever. So you always got to adjust. Anyways, I'm rambling on, and I caught myself into a corner. So let me dig myself out of that hole a little bit and call it while I'm a little bit ahead or not too much in that hole and jump off here. All right, peace, thanks.